The national championships in Reno. Gabe, you came away with third here for the second consecutive meet. Tell us how you feel about that.
I'm feeling really great right now. I think beyond the results, I think the biggest thing on my mind right now is just like consistency. If you look at top fencers, what makes top fencers like really good is not just their ability to make good results, but to continually make those good results. So even though like I'm not at the top yet, just consistently making this result is making me very happy.
Yeah, definitely, and especially this is your first year completely on the senior circuit, right?
Yes.
And how do you feel like that consistency has changed from fencing like a mix between junior and senior?
The jump from junior to seniors has been very interesting. I don't get me wrong, like I fenced a lot of senior events while I was a junior, but it's not until like you're a full-time senior fencer you start to really feel the flow of senior fencing. Top level junior fencing and top level senior fencing are two very different beasts. Not to say that like junior fencing is worse in any way, but senior fencing, like to get at this level, you really start to appreciate the sport, because in junior fencing, the fencers aren't as technically skilled. So a lot of things that don't really work at the senior level work maybe like all the time at the junior level because they're legitimate strategies. That said, like at the senior level, because those strategies start to like leak out or they're weeded out because the fences are so good, you really start to appreciate the sport like as an art. Because when you watch like the top level fencers just fence at their level, it becomes an art. Fencing really becomes an art, and you really appreciate the skill that goes into the sport.
Yeah, and you talk about that appreciation for the sport and that level jump and the seriousness at the Div 1 level. In Jeff Spears' interview earlier, he talked a little bit about that. Today, you lost to Jeff in the semifinals, correct?
Yes.
When you're fencing a guy of that caliber, you know he's an Olympian. What do you feel after dropping a bout to him?
There's two parts to it. There's always the part of like the competitor inside you that will be like, damn, I lost, like crap, I can't believe I lost that bout. But there's also the part of you that like comes back to reality and tells you, don't beat yourself up too much. Like the dude you're fencing is a very good fencer. He is an Olympian. Jeff is a very solid fencer. We've fenced many times before. Even outside of domestic competitions, like we warm up all the time at World Cups, international World Cups. So it's one of those things where like, I'm mad that I lost, but not mad that I lost to Jeff.
And you talk about outside domestic competitions and the World Cups. You're kind of unique in the sense that you're essentially like a full-time professional fencer, because you're not fencing in the NCAA, actually for an NCAA team, correct? Tell us a little bit about
correct.
that.
When I was first applying to college, and I was actually, one of the big points that people brought up was like, you either go to an NCAA school for fencing or you don't. And it was really interesting because there's some people who are like, I hate NCAA fencing, it's the worst thing I've ever done in my life, like, I hate it. But there are also the people that are like, it's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. So like, dealing with that like dichotomy of answers is kind of like, do I go to an NCAA school, do I not go to NCAA school? I eventually chose not to go to NCAA school. And there's a part of me that like misses the fact that I will never be part of like the camaraderie that the college teams have. But there's also the part of me that I always get messages from my fencing friends around the country that are like, I have a tournament this weekend, I just want to relax, but we have a stupid college meet. So there's a part of me that's like, I don't have to deal with that.
Coming back from a rigorous World Cup schedule, and,
yeah,
then, and then you have a college meet.
Yeah.
Now speaking of that, you know, that component of your fencing, so you're from San Diego, why then do you choose Arizona over maybe other saber hubs like Oregon or New York, where you could also go to school but still train at really strong clubs?
Honestly, give me just a moment to think. Honestly, like I think it just came down to the fact that Arizona was the closest. At the time, like Arizona seemed like the most financially sensible option. Just because like the other clubs and other schools around the country, they are pretty hefty in price. And that is a very big factor that I don't think many people talk about, but like it plays a very big role when you're deciding a school.
Definitely, and obviously, you know, you're in a good place with the Fencers Club in Arizona. You know, on the podium today, you guys had 2 guys on the podium. What's the culture there, and how is it changing, or how have you seen it change in your time training there?
My coach, Bill Becker, he has not changed a bit since the very first day I walked into his club.
For better or worse?
Yeah, for better or for worse. And I think that's the part that I attribute most of the success of not only me, but like our club as a whole. My coach, he's a very passionate guy. Like if you watch him coaching any of us, he is very into our success. It's not just like, he's not just there and watching the now and like not kind of just a standby. Like he is there to make us, to let us win, to like help us to win. And if you ever watch him like coach one of us, he gets very into the bouts. And I think it's that passion, just the passion to fence well, passion to win, passion to be a competitor in this sport that really translates to his fencers.
So that commitment and passion that every competitor needs from their coach and support staff is definitely true of your circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Well, we're happy to hear that, and we wish you the best in your World Cup circuit going forward.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Gabe.